I am Jonathan West. You are watching Death Valley Television, and your Death Valley Technical Scavengers take on the Sanford College Coyotes in a rematch from last season for the Pac-12 title. These two teams faced in the Pac-12 Championship last year, and they'll do it again. This time, though, the stakes are bigger for the Scavengers. A win not only means you're Pac-12 champs for the first time in school history, but also you will lock in a bye. Another big thing is, as things have been going on, it seems like Earl Shell has won over a lot of the Heisman voters. From what I've been hearing, the belief is he can take home the Heisman, especially if he finds a way to break that record today. DVT number one in the Pac-12. We know this, the only team to go undefeated in Pac-12 play this year. So a big year for them, as well as a big opportunity to do the one thing they have never done in the conference, and that's become the champs. So it is all eyes on DVT today, as Joey Darnold is the new quarterback for the Coyotes and ready to be the reason the Scavengers are not the Pac-12 champions. Now, he's had a solid season, but it could be better. 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 58% completion. Certainly not a bad year for Darnold, but this team has always been a ground game offense. And that's where Wade Klaus comes into play. He is their top back, and he is their top guy on this offense. You expect Klaus to be that guy, that piece to the puzzle, very much like Nico Blanco is for the Scavengers. 4 rushing touchdowns on the year, 766 yards this season. Certainly didn't put up the numbers you would expect, but this Coyotes defense can be quite a problem. Anthony Garcia, the young man out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, is their top pass rusher now. 8.5 sacks on the season, and he has been a big force to deal with on that edge. So the tackles are going to be asked to do a lot of heavy lifting in keeping John Bush safe. Not to mention they have a star in the making in Alec Casey, the sophomore middle linebacker out of Cheshire, Connecticut. The young man has been a force of nature at that spot. 72 tackles, 4 for a loss, 1.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions. He can do any and everything asked of him from that spot on the defense. And now it's time to get down to the field in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the house always wins. The Scavengers rocking the red as they're putting it all on the Blood Reds this time around in the Pac-12 title game, as they'll be facing the they'll be facing the Coyotes, rocking their beat-em-ups, their black and blues, as they try to counteract the red with black, as we will see who comes out on top and who will be the Pac-12 champion. And we are off in this one as Trent Feeney gets us underway, and it will be C.J. Liner taking a knee in the end zone for the Coyotes. They're black and blues on display. They call them the beat-em-ups, and it is going to be a fight here. That is a definite, as it is the shotgun to start things off for the Coyotes. They go to the screen early as that's not C.J. Liner. He's going to get called, it looks like, for a hold here. So not a good start, as their top wideout, C.J. Liner, gets called immediately. First and 18, hand off to Klaus. Wade Klaus with room, and he's going to have a solid pickup of 11. 2nd and 7 now. It's a quick RPO, and that one is caught. A new set of downs for the Coyotes. Another quick throw. This is C.J. Liner. He stays on his feet. He's got the sideline, and Manu Coffey chases him down. but a big play for the Coyotes puts them deep into Scavengers territory. Klaus in motion as Darnold connects, and that's going to be another solid pickup. Gain of 6 for Liner. 2nd and 4. Darnold gonna roll around here, finds his man somehow. I don't know how he did it, but either way, it's a completion inside the 10 now. Quick throw here, that one's off the mark. First incompletion of the day for Darnold. 2nd and goal. Underneath, there is a flag on the field here. And it's going to be on Ahmad Kiki. Got to Darnold late. And that is going to give them a fresh set of downs at the 1 yard line. They get 4 attempts essentially to find pay dirt here. And off to Klaus, he gets in. And just like that, the Coyotes take no time at all to get the first points on the board. Well, it certainly feels like it's going to be one of those games where the Scavengers are going to have to fight power with power when it comes to the offenses going head-to-head. And we'll see if they can do that this time around, with Nico Blanco having arguably a career year for himself. And really, you saw it on that last drive. No Earl Shell to speak of for the defense, as down goes Blanco quickly. 2nd and 13. Bush in the gun takes the snap. He'll check this one down to Blanco, and he took a big hit there. 3rd and 11 now. Deep shot for Zubnar, and that one's knocked away. So nothing going there as Earl Shell and the defense come back out to try and go at this Sanford offense. Klaus gets nothing as Raheem Clay was on top of him. 2nd and 10. Klaus in motion. This one checked down short here, as that's going to be a gain of 7 though, as he was able to turn that one up. The tight end making the play happen as Darnold with time takes off with it. He's going to have the first down. So the offense for the Coyotes clicking early here. Klaus takes it outside, cannot find room as that's Millhauser there. 2nd and 12. Darnold screen set, and they're going to connect, not find a ton, but a pickup of 4 there. 3rd down and 8. Pressure being shown by the Scavengers, and they do bring it, but they can't get to him. However, the throw is low, and it forces a Coyotes field goal here. 51-yarders up, and it is just inside. The Coyotes will take a 2-possession lead here in the first quarter of action. 1st and 10 now. Blanco gets the handoff. I was about to say to the right of Bush, but he gets the handoff, seeing 2nd and 7 now after that gain of 3. Bush takes the snap out of the gun. Underneath, that's Alex Slade. He's going to get close. That's the first catch for the top receiver for the Scavengers, is a handoff here to Blanco. He finds room, and he's going to have a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Tabor checks in. Bush takes the snap out of the gun. He'll roll to his right and finds Roosevelt Lamar late there. It'll be a pickup of 4, so a positive gain nonetheless. It's the last play here of the first quarter. They do get the snap off in time, and Blanco goes upfield and gets him just shy of the mark. As we head to the end of the first, it's 10-0 Coyotes up early in this one, living up to the jerseys they are wearing right now. The Scavengers need to find something. Second quarter begins here, 3rd and inches. BJ Crow checks in, and this is what BJ Crow is good at, but he gets stood up. They keep the offense out though on 4th and 1, aggressive early. are the Scavengers, and Blanco gets a lot of blocks. He's got the edge to the 20. 10-5. He's in. Touchdown Scavengers off the 4th and 1 call. And that is exactly where the aggressiveness works out. Coach Booker not ready to settle for another punt already. He wanted that first down, and Nico got around. Some good blocks helped, and he was able to fight his way to the end zone. A 3-point bowl game now as the Coyotes take over. Hand off to Wade Klaus. He finds nothing. 2nd and 9. Darnold looking to throw. It's a screen as Klaus gets close, but not enough for the first. 3rd down and 1 now. A lot of bodies on that line. It's a keeper for Darnold, and they're going to say he's shy. A big stop by the Scavengers defense gives them good starting field position. As underneath, that's going to be Slade picking up 6. Has him at midfield now. 2nd and 4. Slade in motion. They flip it his way on the jet. And he's going to have a 9-yard pickup. 3rd and 1 now. Hand off. Here goes to Blanco. He gets a nice block from Dakota Pounds there, at least partially, as it's going to be a new set of downs. 1st and 10 with 6 minutes to go here before we hit half. Play action is Bush rolling out. He'll check that one down to Roosevelt Lamar, and that'll be a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5. Slade in motion. They go with the jet pass again. He's got room, a nice block, and that's going to spring him for the first down. Down at the 13 now as Crow checks in. Got stood up on his last carry. This time he can only find 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Blanco back in the ball game. And they go RPO with Zubnar. He can't break off that tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and 8. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. Bush connects. Slade doesn't have enough, so they will settle for the chip shot. Trent Feeney's kick is up and good, as that will tie this bowl game up at 10 apiece. The Scavengers have fought back here in the 2nd quarter. So the Coyotes now looking at a tie ball game with 2:25 left to go. How does the Scavengers defense go at them, though, as Wade Klaus with a nice pickup. 2nd and inches. Empty set here is Darnold. Quick throw. That one's caught, but he came back behind the line. They're going to say they're still just shy of the mark. So they'll go quick to the line here on 3rd and inches. Darnold still in the empty. It's a screen set up. Maybe not, as he misses his man. And a big mistake allows now for the Scavengers to have a $1:36 and 2 timeouts. Bush connects with Nicholas. The freshman picks up the first there. 1st and 10. Bush takes the snap. It's a screen set up. Able to get it off before the pressure got there, but only a gain of 3 as they have to go a bit quick. 2nd and 7. Bush over the middle. That's caught. Roosevelt Lamar right in front of a Coyote. So a new set of downs. It's caught again, Roosevelt Lamar. And he's got the first, and they are in Feeney field goal range now. Under a minute to go at the 29. Bush checks this one down to Slade. He'll have a new set of downs again. They continue to move the chains with 1 timeout left. Bush with time. connects. Jermaine Strong hangs on. Touchdown, Scavengers. Jermaine Strong hasn't done a ton this season, but he makes the play there. The red shirt freshman hangs on to it, taking a shot, and it's a tight throw by Bush as he's able to get it in there between two defenders. And of course, the more important part is taking that shoulder, as that takes us to halftime. 17-10. Scavengers now on top for the first time today, and Nico Blanco is at a very solid outing. Most of those yards, of course, off the touchdown run on the 4th and 1, which were the first points for the Scavengers all day. But they have fought back in that second quarter to be up 17-10 and a half. The big question is, can that defense hold off the Coyotes, and can they keep this positive momentum going? If they can keep it up, you're looking at your new Pac-12 champs. Third quarter of action begins here. Scavengers football, and they can do a lot of damage early if they can find pay dirt here, as Blanco doesn't find much. Looked like he had a hole that he just missed. 2nd and 8. Blanco once again can't find much. He's held up for only a yard there. 3rd down and 7. Slade in motion. They go his way. Tries to cut back in. Does not work. And just like that, it's a 3 and out. And Sanford with good field position here as Wade Klaus takes it out wide. There's going to be a flag there for a hold. We all saw that one. And this one's going to be coming back. Tyler Hynoski called for the hold, and now that 1st and 17 doesn't make the field position as good as it once was. So the RPO here for a liner doesn't go far. 2nd and 16. And a flag flies as a little too happy with Shenard Ferrier. He wanted to get to the quarterback. They have not gotten to Darnold yet today. And that is going to give them a free 5. Makes it a much easier 2nd and 11. Darnold in the gun. Takes the snap. It's a screen set up for the tight end, and that's going to be only a gain of 1. So they go empty now on 3rd and 10. Raheem Clay getting a little overzealous, but they drop back now. And there goes Darnold. He's going to have the 1st and more, as that's going to get a new set of downs and some new life for the Coyotes. 1st and 10. Darnold hands off to Klaus. He's got the outside, as that's going to be a 1st and more as he spun off a Millhauser, and they're now back in the red zone. 1st and 10. Play action. Darnold gets away from Show, gets away from everyone, and slides safely for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3. Hand off to Klaus. He fights forward, and another 1st down. 1st and goal now. As they flip this one, that doesn't work out. 2nd and goal. The jet pass doesn't work for the Coyotes. They do it again. It's the same exact situation. So on 3rd and goal, Darnold to throw. Pressure gets there. It's Ahmad Kiki who brings it into this one. That is exactly what they needed right there, as Ahmad Kiki gets the 1st sack of the day for the Scavengers, and a much-needed one to force a field goal. So the Coyotes with a field goal opportunity here to cut the lead to 4. Kicks up. It is right down the middle, and the Coyotes will cut the Scavengers' lead to 4, but still, your Scavengers on top. 1st and 10 now here. Bush underneath as he hands off to Blanco, and he's going to have the 1st down. Got enough room outside to pick up the 1st, as now Tony V checks in. The freshman takes the direct snap. A nice block there by Zubnar. And that's going to be a nice first down run. Tony V does it himself. And a new set of downs for the Scavengers, as we see if they can add more points to the board here on this one. Play action here. Bush intercepted, intended for Geno's son, and stepped right in front of was the defender, as that is Bowie making the play. The big play, that is Bo making the play, and he is going to get the first turnover of the game. Ben Bo with the interception. He was matched up on Gio's son. And I gotta say, bit shocked he was able to keep up that well. And some trickery here as this one knocked away. John Crane gets a hand on it. 2nd and 10. Darnold taking off with it as he's taken down by Raheem Clay after a gain of 6. Now the Scavengers showing pressure. They will bring it. They want that sack, but they don't get it. Instead, it's a completion for a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Darnold connects. It's tight end with a 7-yard pickup. 2nd and 3. Handoff, more trickery here, but C.J. Liner can't find much. Gets back to the line. I think he's lucky he got there, as that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Throw up those 4s, folks. One more quarter of action separates us from finding out who is the Pac-12 champion. 3rd and 4. Big 3rd down to start the 4th quarter of action. Play action here from the Coyotes, and that will be enough for the first. So the drive continues. Darnold. Downfield, he connects. C.J. Liner. Touchdown Coyotes. And for the first time since the half began, the Coyotes have the lead back in their possession. They lost it back in the 2nd quarter right before half, and have now gotten it back here early in the 4th. It's just a 3-point game, but it is still a Coyotes lead as Alex Slade fights his way for a gain of 7 off the jet. 2nd and 3. Bush, quick screen here for Nicholas, and that's going to be enough for the first. 1st and 10. Blanco to the right of Bush. They hand off to Blanco, but nowhere to go. He's bottled up. That brings up 2nd and 13, and they're in the empty. And they're going to go to their bread and butter. That fade out for Zubnar. It's a new set of downs. He was left wide open. 1st and 10. Bush now into Coyotes territory again as they set up another screen. I think that's a good time to call it. Not a lot of Coyotes to counteract that, as it was a lot of pushing and shoving by Blanco just to get room, though. 2nd and 7. Bush connects with Strong underneath. I'm not sure how, but it's a manageable 3rd and 2 now. Direct snap goes to Blanco. He'll have enough for the first. So 1st and 10. Bush looking to throw, decides to check this one down to Blanco. That'll be a gain of 7. Goal here is to keep them in field goal range. 2nd and 3. They flip this one to Slade. Good blocking, leaves a hole to the 10. Touchdown Scavengers! They take the lead right back. Alex Slade with the jet pass touchdown. He got the blocks needed, found just a bit of a hole, and at that point he was gone. But the Scavengers do what they need, and with 4:42 on the clock, It will be Coyote football. A 4-point deficit for Sanford as Wade Klaus to the outside picks up 9. They need a touchdown. A field goal doesn't do them much. Darnold keeps it. He's got the first, but not much more as Millhauser got there quick. 1st and 10. Play action. Darnold just goes to the screen there, and that's not going to go far. Gain of 2 off that one. Empty set again. Darnold. Pressured by Shell. He does get it to his man, but that's not going to go for much either. A gain of 2 again. 3rd down and 6. Just about 2 minutes left to go. Check down is set there, but they go underneath, and it's a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Coyotes with 2 timeouts left. As this one knocked away. Great play by Manu Coffey there. 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Incomplete, and that'll bring up a big 3rd down and 10 with 2:02 left. Darnold. Almost picked, should have been, but they stay out on 4th and 10. Darnold. He goes down. It's Earl Shell. He's been quiet all day long. But Darnold goes down on 4th down to the man who is expected to win the Heisman Trophy. 1st and 10, and all the Coyotes have to try and do is stop a 1st down at this point, because if the Scavengers get a first, this game is over. A flag does fly for a hold on Roosevelt Lamar. That's not what you need right here. 1st and 18. Handoff goes to Blanco. He's got some blocks. Breaks through one arm tackle, and that's a nice carry right there. He uses the first of the 2 timeouts left for the Coyotes. 2nd and 5. 1st down ends it. Handoff Blanco. He's got the first, and he makes a man miss. That's going to be it. This game is over. The Scavengers are finally your Pac-12 champions for the first time in school history. 24-20. The Scavengers win, and Nico Blanco does exactly what he has done all season. 135 yards on the ground. The long touchdown to get the scoring started for the Scavengers. And, well, you got to look at that 4th down again. Earl Shell was quiet all day long. But on the play that decided it all, essentially, he came through and got what, if it counts, breaks the record for 24.5 sacks in a season. John Bush had a very good game quietly, 92% completion percentage, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, the interception was something you don't want to see, but the Scavengers come out on top, mainly thanks to the 13 carries for Nico Blanco. What a day. The seniors coming out with some of their best play when it mattered most in this one. Alex Slade, 9 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Roosevelt Lamar with a nice game of 4 catches and 45 yards as well. Raheem Clay, as always it seems, leads this team in tackles as Earl Shell and Ahmad Kiki get the 2 sacks today. Held at bay pretty well, but you can only stop Earl Shell for so long. Now the question is, as Pac-12 champions, what does that mean for the bracket? That's the big question now. Where do the Scavengers sit? You're Pac-12 champions. That's a great honor. You get recruits coming in. That's a great honor. But where do they sit on that bracket now? Keelan Holbrook named Offensive Player of the Week. Very surprising there. Thought we might see Earl Shell win another one. There is Alex Slade, also is the Offensive Player of the Week. We will not be going over Player of the Weeks next time out if we see them, because we just won't need them. Your awards are given out for Player of the Year. That goes to Earl Shell and his 24.5 sacks on the season. More importantly, though, your Heisman Trophy winner is Earl Shell. A big accomplishment for number 0, as he takes home a ton of trophies this year, but the biggest one being that Heisman Trophy, the first defensive winner of the Heisman Trophy since Charles Woodson. Unbelievable. That's all I can say about it. Unbelievable. Don Dotson also winning Best Return Man, and Nico Blanco winning Best Running Back. Huge awards for those two as well, as the bracket is now set. And your Death Valley Technical Scavengers will be sitting pretty with a bye to begin things, as they will face the Sanford Cardinal. So a California battle in Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. You see how every team got there. Sanford took down number 11 Miami 31-28. So we will see how the Cardinal do against DVT, who they have not seen in a couple years now. Death Valley Tech was still a fairly new school the last time these two teams met, and now they meet again on a much larger stage, and the semifinals of the college football playoffs on the line.